from Global Voice Network, streaming the Discoveries in Health Discussions show with Dr. Truman Berst from Herbal Health Review. Dr. Truman, how you doing today?
Hello, Paul. I am blessed. I know you are blessed. I know everyone in the room over there in Dialpad and over there in Jitsi and the other rooms like Facebook and Twitter and so forth. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discoveries in Health. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst, Master Herbalist for over 62 years. I've been asking people to change their lifestyle. That's right. For 62 years, I've been suggesting that people eat more vegetables, drink more water, eat less meat, eat more nuts and seeds, and learn about the natural remedies that comfort people. And we're not here prescribing or diagnosing. We're talking about natural remedies. This is a class that we teach every Thursday for 2 hours. We invite you to, after the opening prayer, we invite you to open your microphones and ask questions and suggest what we talk about. So spontaneously, we give you information about comforting yourself, your family, your loved ones with natural remedies. How to be stronger, build up the immune system so you're not a victim. I've got so many people that come to me. They've waited and waited until they are really in trouble and with their health, and they need help. But they wait. Please don't wait. If you're suffering, let's do something about it. We're not talking about drugs. We're talking about comforting yourself, learning about natural remedies, building up your immune system so you're not a victim, so that you're prepared. Our culture is weak. Our culture is overweight. They've been overdrugged. They've taken too many medications. They need to look to their health. We need to learn about what it is that's going to help us not be sick. And that's what we talk about here. We don't prescribe and we don't diagnose, and we're not selling products. We can tell you where to get some of these products, but that's the way we do things here. And we don't have any sponsors. I do this as a ministry. I'm the bishop of Good Shepherd Ministries, and this is a ministry. So we need donations to grow, to do better, to be able to help more people, because I'm not reaching as many people as that I want to, and because I still hear people suffering, and the Most High has moved me to do something about it. And that all started a long time ago when I was 5 years old, back in 1946. That's when this all started. When I looked around, and I was able to discern that people were suffering to death. The systems weren't working. They weren't being. There was no answers. And of course, that was a long time ago. Now there's a lot more answers, and there's a lot of research now about natural remedies. And that's what I want to bring out to you. I want to bring the latest scientific research about how to comfort yourself. That's what this is all about. So let's start this broadcast. And let's start it with a prayer, and let's put on the whole body armor of God. That's what we need to do, and we need to keep putting it on and strap it on every morning, and go out there and deal with what's going on. But let's put on the whole armor of God. Ephesians 6:11-18. Put on the whole armor of God. That in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. We pray, and let's look at Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, and I will also forget thy children. Hosea 4:6. Genesis 1:29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. In Jesus Christ's name, we pray and we receive. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. And we receive his complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing. We receive for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in Jesus Christ's name. So be it. Amen. And that being said, let's open up the telephones. Anyone who has a question, a comment, or a suggestion, please let us know what your suggestion, what you'd like to talk about here today on Discoveries in Health. We'll do the original research right here in front of you. I'm looking for anyone to press the star key 2 times on their microphone if they're in the dial pad meetings room. Press the star key 2 times on your microphone if you have a question or a topic. And I am looking over here, and so we're going over, and we're going to talk about some things today that need to be talked about. One of them, we need to mention that colloidal silver water generator. We need to mention colloidal silver. More than 90 years ago, doctors and health practitioners discovered the life-saving disinfectant germicidal properties in colloidal silver. Anecdotal evidence has confirmed its efficacy as a natural antibiotic, antiviral, and antifungal agent. Colloidal silver is a solution of extreme fine submicroscopic particles of silver at 0.015 to 0.005 microns of pure silver suspended in water by a positive electric charge. By a negative electric charge on each particle. The particles remain suspended throughout the solution because these charged particles repel each other with a greater force than gravity. And a greater force than even gravity can exert upon it. A silver has been used for hundreds of years, not only medicinally, and even thousands of years. The kings and the queens, they had silver goblets that did not allow any virus, fungus, or bacteria to be formed. The wealthy had these silver cups that they drank out of for thousands of years, and it's been used as a preservative to stop water and also from going bad, and keep milk fresh, because it prevents the growth of algae and bacteria and other unwanted organisms. Silver was used extensively as a natural antibiotic until the 1940s, when the advent of modern antibiotics became popular. A powerful germicidal, silver is an exceptional metal in that it is non-toxic to the human body, but lethal to over 650 disease-causing bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, and molds. And while conventional pharmaceutical antibiotics are typically effective against only 6 or 7 types of bacteria, some new strains of bacteria classified as MDR, which means multiple drug resistant, because these bacteria did something that I said that was going to happen over 50 years ago. I was explaining that these pharmaceutical antibiotics, they killed off most of the bacteria and then made the other bacteria stronger, until now we have multiple drug resistant drugs that don't work. The pathogens have built up a resistance, and they have proven to be resistant to all pharmaceutical antibiotics, but not to colloidal silver, due to the different germicidal mechanisms of deactivation. So how to take it? Well, colloidal silver water may be taken orally or topically. You can splash it in your eyes. It will get rid of any eye infection. You can put it in your ears. It gets rid of an ear infection. Put it in your nose. It gets rid of a sinus infection. Put it in your mouth. It gets rid of any kind of a mouth infection, including the gums, the teeth. If there was an abscess tooth, the abscess would go down and clear up. Then you could deal with the tooth, because people don't realize that if you've got a tooth infection, and you dare not kiss the woman that you love. If you're a man, you better you may not, because if they've got a tooth infection, you can get it. So people can pass tooth infections on to each other by kissing each other. They can pass, and tooth infections can be so severe that they can cause cancer. So you've got to make sure and take care of those teeth. And there's a lot more information about teeth on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, under common conditions, and then click on teeth. But how do you take it? Well, you can use it. You can be taken orally or topically. It can be applied directly to the skin. It can be used vaginally, anally. It can be atomized, or it can be inhaled into the nose or into the lungs. And if there is a pneumonia within 72 hours, pneumonia clears up when you are inhaling colloidal silver water. And it also can be safely dropped into the eyes and get rid of eye infections. Mm-hmm. Liquid silver. Yeah, liquid silver. It's as well as new gel formulations of silver. You can get silver salves. You can get the ultimate skin gel, which may be applied directly to the skin. A few drops on a Q-tip or a Band-Aid may be used to disinfect a wound or a sore. And properly prepared, colloidal silver can also be injected into a muscle, a cancerous tumor, or into the bloodstream. How much do you take? Well, you take about 1 or 2 ounces for occasional use. You don't take it every single day. Although silver is non-toxic. When I say that, it's a heavy metal and will accumulate in your body. Although it's non-toxic and won't harm you when it loads up in your body, it's called argyria, and you would turn blue. You would have to consume much more than we're talking about here. You'd have to be consuming glasses of it, a 12-ounce glasses of it 3-4 times a day for months and months before you would do that. Then you'd need to know about a heavy metal detox that could remove the heavy metals out of your body. Things like chlorella and apopectin and other things that pull heavy metals out of the body. So, but we're not talking about exposing ourselves to more than 1 or 2 ounces for occasional use. And it can be applied directly to cuts, rashes, earaches, toothaches, burns. Be the best. It's better than aloe vera on a burn because it removes the pain. And then the pain. And if you leave colloidal silver water on there long enough, then when you remove the colloidal silver water, whether it's a cloth that's soaked in colloidal silver water or you're spraying it on, whatever, after about 4 hours of saturation, when you remove it from an ugly burn, there's no pain. And there's no pain, and it'll heal up, and there'll be no scar, and that's how it works. And that's it. So go ahead, sir.
A couple of things I'd like to add about colloidal silver. It's really amazing stuff. And thank you so much for mentioning the antibiotic resistant bacteria and viral things going on, because not only have the overuse of antibiotics caused the breeding of superbugs, the overuse of over-the-counter hand sanitizers and disinfectant sprays in the home has actually caused a resistance in bacteria in your home and on your skin, and making it harder to kill. Colloidal silver wipes it out once and for all. And taking colloidal silver internally, your body actually builds up a small amount of silver nanoparticles. And those silver nanoparticles act as a second immune system. So when you do walk into a room with a bunch of people that have got the sniffles and sneezes, if any of those bugs do get to you, the colloidal silver is right there, just like the the Queen's Guard standing at the ready to wipe out any invader that happens to come into your space. It's amazing how it does that. You don't just have to take it as a response to an infection, you can actually use it to prevent an infection. Use it to prevent drug resistant bacteria. Use it to prevent drug resistant viruses and bacteria in your kitchen countertops, your bathroom, your bathtub, every surface in your home. It's amazing stuff. Amazing. And it is by far the most universal and most inexpensive antibacterial on the market. Now, I just wanted to add that.
And that is, you're absolutely correct in everything you said, because colloidal silver water, although it shouldn't be consumed every day, because you don't want to load it up in your body, you want to save it for the times when you have a need for it. Mm-hmm. So, and it should only be swallowed if there is a bacteria, fungus, or virus, or inflammation, or if there's a cold flu present, then you go after it. Then you go, instead of 1 or 2 ounces occasionally, you can rinse your mouth with it because it gets rid of any mouth infection. So if you were to rinse your mouth with it at any time, it's gonna clean your mouth better than anything could. And if you add a little drop of peppermint or a drop of clove, bam, you got it. And then you've got a flavor or a taste and a very refreshed mouth. But you want to consume 16 to 64 ounces daily for up to 14 days if there's an illness, if there's an infection, if there is a flu, virus, fungus, bacteria, or inflammation, yes, that's when you go after it. And for about 14 days, you can consume it up to as much as 64 ounces, half a gallon, 2 quarts. So yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to ask a question. This is Angela.
Yes.
Greetings, everyone. Okay, you mentioned the 6 essential oils, and I want to know how long, because I make bottles, and it does work because I had an ear infection. I had some problems with my phone, and I placed it in there for, maybe a day or 2, and it cleared up. Also, I was wondering, how long can you keep it stored up? Because I like to put in these little recycled amber bottles that I have.
Yes.
And I wanted to know about adding essential oils. Like, some people like to spray Lysol or whatever, but I would rather use the colloidal silver water.
Yes.
But I would also like to add an essential oil to it. Like, if I go out and just want to, disinfect my hands or something like that, and my face or whatever.
Sure.
And
clove oil is one of the greatest antibiotic oils, and it gives you the taste and flavor of cloves, which is very pleasant. Mm-hmm. So and I wouldn't use a lot. I would use just enough to where you're getting that fragrance, maybe 1, 2, 3 drops, something like that, in as much as 16 ounces of colloidal silver water, and that would give you. And you could use other aromatic like lavender. You could use that and so forth, which is another great and wonderful oil that's very calming to the nervous system and then very healing and very refreshing to the skin. But yes, that would be the way to use that. Did I answer your question?
Well, so it will keep, like if I, store it in bottles, I can just keep it for a minute.
Yeah, as long as you're not using but a very small amount to just add the aroma that desired. It shouldn't bother the fact that these colloids are in solution, ionic solution, and carrying an electric charge, and it should work just fine.
Just keep it out of direct sunlight.
There you go.
The amber bottles are good.
Yeah,
Keep it out of direct sunlight. And a great combination hand lotion, a wound treatment gel, everything else is 1-to-3 ratio of colloidal silver to aloe vera gel. And put that in like a small bottle and keep it with you. It is antibacterial. It'll treat a burn, a cut, or a scrape. It'll soothe sunburn pain, and it's just a great all-around concoction. 1-to-3 ratio of colloidal silver water to aloe vera gel.
There you go. And it will store. Over a period of time, you're going to see it's going to settle out, and you're going to see your silver colloids are going to drop to the bottom. But that usually takes 3 months, and you want to store it at room temperature. Down, I always put mine down in the counter, underneath the counter there. Out of the way, and it's in room temperature, and it's cool under there, and there's no light going to hit it, and it stores for 3 to 6 months. But you're losing a little bit every single month of the power of it. But as long as you use it up within that 3 to 6 month period, you're not seeing a lot of residue on the bottom of the jar, then you're getting it still in solution. It's not gone to the bottom of the jar. Okay?
Yeah, you can't overuse it. You can just use it as you need it.
That's right.
As far as sometimes I miss my face with it. Just
It's
different things.
Yeah, you can't using it topically. You can use it all the time. But internally, we only want to use it internally when we need it. When there's an infection, when there's a flu, when there's an inflammation or virus or fungus or bacteria, or a tooth problem or a mouth problem or a nose problem or ear problem, But internally, you just don't want to take a lot of it for a long period of time, because we don't want you to turn blue. But if you did, then you use herbs to mop it up, and herbs like chlorella, which is a great for mopping up heavy metals. Any other question, Angela?
Yes. You talked about drug resistant.
Yes.
Like from taking certain things like antibiotics, if I can say that, and just using the colloidal silver water in place of all that. But also, can that lead to like leaky gut? I kind of want to touch on that a little bit.
You want to touch on leaky gut syndrome?
Leaky gut, yeah, and the diet, and the diet, it has, the diet as well. By Dr. Axe on his side, I was looking at that a little bit, and it leads to all these different autoimmune diseases, yeah? Like, wow.
Okay, all right, we can do that. And let's go over here and talk about leaky gut syndrome, because a lot of people have that. And they wind up wearing diapers and so forth, so that they're not having any accidents. And let's talk here. So here we go. Just give me a moment to bring up this report. And so Here's as of January 3, 2022, a good report that's telling us, that more Americans are affected by poor diet choices, like and chronic stress, and then they have toxic overload and bacterial imbalance. And it appears that the prevalence of leaky gut is potentially reaching epidemic proportions. So you're not alone. The medical profession is just now agreeing this condition even exists, which is especially shocking considering that the intestinal permeability, another name for leaky gut, has been discussed in medical literature for over 100 years. But the science is now coming to grip with it. Why should leaky gut syndrome concern you? Well, in recent years, leaky gut has been called a danger signal for autoimmune diseases. And that's the thing. We need to keep our immune system up, because then so we don't become a victim for the next flu that goes around. And all the vaccinations in the world aren't going to help to keep your immune system up. Your diet is what's going to do that. You have to take charge of your diet in order to not wind up with an autoimmune disease. These people with these autoimmune diseases, when they're getting a serious flu, those are the people that we're losing. So we need to boost the immune system, and there's all kinds of ways to do that, starting with the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system and having one of those colloidal silver water generators. Let's take a look, by the way, before we go into this, get into leaky gut syndrome any further. Let's take a look at a colloidal silver water generator. What makes this ionic silver? What makes it? Well, this little generator, when we right click on it over here and open this link in a new tab, now we're looking at the device that makes it. And the reason you want to know about this device is because colloidal silver water is expensive, but not if you have one of these devices. You can make colloidal silver water for pennies if you have this device. If not, you're paying like about $60-70 for 32 ounces of it. And you can make 32 ounces of it every 20 minutes. And if you want a really extra rich batch, you might go 20-25 minutes or even 30 minutes, but no longer than that. And you'd have 1 quart. And you can do that all day long, which makes this little box very valuable because the box is up the size of a deck of cards. It's called a colloidal silver water generator, and it's inexpensive. It's like $99.99, and I get nothing from the sale of any product. Matter of fact, I invented that box 50 years ago, and I get nothing from the sale of that little box or any other product. So, but that works. I mean, there are people out there that they can't believe that other people don't have one, because they have one and they know how valuable it is. They know that it will get rid of any eye infection, nose infection, mouth infection, tooth infection. It'll. Everybody came down with the flu here a few days ago. I made a big, strong batch of colloidal silver water and gave everybody's back to work. There's no flu symptoms left in the building. It's amazing what this will do. So everyone, and I'm serious about this, folks, and you don't hear me saying this, but everyone should have a colloidal silver water generator. It will sterilize the water anywhere you go. If you went to Mexico and they served you a glass of Montezuma's Revenge water, and you were going to drink it, but you said, "Oh, wait a minute! In my purse or in my suitcase, I have this little box that's about the size of a deck of cards, and you put it down on the counter, and you can sterilize a quart of water that has bacteria, funguses, and viruses. You can make it clean again in 5 minutes." 1 quart in 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, you can sterilize a quart of water with that little box. And it's portable. You take it everywhere with you. I've taken it all over the world, and I wouldn't be without it. And that's how I travel. And that's why people around me are getting the flu and getting sick when they're traveling. Not me. I got my little box. It's called a colloidal silver water generator, and everyone should have one. And by the way, the discount for that, to get that little box on sale, I know that code. It's GOCC. Will take 20% off of that $99.99. Now it's like about $80 or something. But anyway, it's worth much more than that, and it's guaranteed for life. It never breaks. Has a little light on the front that when you tap the rods together, the silver rods, because it comes all put together and ready to go. But the little rods, when you tap them together, the little light on the front, it comes on. And if the light is bright, the batteries are strong, and that's all you need to know. And that's the only reason that little light is there. So if the light is weak, it's time to change the batteries. And I did. I had to change the batteries. I had that went for 3 years before I had to change the batteries. And I've made a lot of colloidal silver water with that box in those 3 years. But anyway, I wanted you to know about that. Go ahead, sir.
One thing you did mention was that you can put it in the eyes, and I have a recent testimonial. I was in a chat room, and a guy came in and he said, my 5-year-old boy has a raging case of pink eye. Does anybody know any holistic treatment methods for pink eye? Because I really don't want to give him the drugs that the doctor wants to prescribe. I said, squirt a little colloidal silver in each eye, and do it tonight, do it tomorrow, and do it tomorrow night. You won't have to do it the next morning. And he got back to me. He said, you were absolutely right. His eyes were glued shut, and I squirted in his eyes a couple of times. He woke up the next day, eyes were completely back to normal. No pharmaceuticals or serious treatments. No pharmaceutical eye drops, nothing. Little squirt in each eye.
There you go.
So it's perfectly
That's how
safe.
good it is. It works that good.
And
you're not exaggerating at all.
And in a similar fashion, there's, the makers of the iTerra Care Classic Terahertz wand, they came out with another product. They came out with a new product. It's amazing. It is a negative ion generator that's about the size of a silver dollar, between a 50-cent piece and a silver dollar. It's a pendant that you wear around your neck. It has a built-in rechargeable battery. It charges with a USB plug-in. Same thing that charges your phone, charges the little medallion, and it emits 60 million negative ions and essentially encases you in a bubble that's going to push all of the negatively charged viral, bacterial nasties that may be where you are. It's going to just push them away from you electrostatically. It's going to surround you in a bubble of your own sanitary environment. It's crazy amazing. Crazy amazing. And we need people to go to iTerraplanet.com. That's iTerraplanet.com and look at the iTerra Care Classic Frequency Wand. As soon as we sell 4 of them, I will set Doc Truman up with his own reseller arrangement with iTerra. So 4 of them. That's all we need.
There
All right.
you go. Okay. All right. So, colloidal silver water, absolutely fascinating, wonderful, safest, natural antibiotic on the planet, as safe as water. That is pretty safe. So where
Safer.
go ahead.
Safer than water. Because
safer,
it's water, you know it doesn't have any bugs in it.
Oh, that's just
It's
okay. I
safer than
stand
water.
corrected. All right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So yes, colloidal silver water. You needed to know about it. You need to know what a wonderful uh, 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 thing that it is. That it's lethal. It's harmless to humans, lethal to over 650 disease-causing bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites and molds. So yes. So the thing about this is, uh, you know, my entire family had been using colloidal silver water for over 20 years. Well, maybe over 40 years now, or longer. But it's I've seen miraculous results. People are constantly calling me, telling me, that I need to talk more often about colloidal silver water, because sometimes I don't mention it for a while, and then people say, why aren't you mentioning that? Because it's so important. So that's why I mentioned it today, because a few days ago somebody called me and said that's exactly what I should be doing, is making sure that people know about the colloidal silver water and all of those negative ions, and the fact that you can get a generator and make your own. Every 20 minutes you get a gallon. All you need is a gallon of distilled water or reverse osmosis water that has nothing in it, and you can pick that up in a grocery store for about $1 or $1.50 for a gallon of distilled water, and that's the cost. Once you buy the generator, for years and years, you're going to make gallons and gallons of water, of colloidal silver water. Each gallon is worth $240, and you're making it for $1.50. That's why everybody should have one of these generators. That's about it about the colloidal silver water. One thing about colloidal silver water, after you've gone through taking it for a while, be sure to get back on your acidophilus, your probiotic. A good strong one, maybe 10, 11 strains, and 50 billion strength, and you should take one of those every single day, just to make sure that your stomach biome is always healthy, that you always have all that friendly bacteria in your stomach. And there are many healers over the years have told me it always starts in your stomach. Whatever's going on, it's what you're putting in your stomach. It's your stomach. You keep your stomach healthy, you can get over anything. You can do things that you couldn't normally do if you keep that stomach healthy. And it needs those probiotics. It needs it. And so when you're taking the colloidal silver water, you don't need to take the probiotic. But after you have used the colloidal silver water, then you always want to be taking the probiotics. And I'll give you one more for colds and flus and virus and so forth. It's a formulation called CVF Be Gone. It's a cold virus flu formula that 50 years ago, when I learned about this formulation, it was called the anti-plague formula. Well, we don't do that. We don't call it the anti-plague formula, but it's the most unusual formulation that I've ever created and duplicated from what I learned on how to make that formulation. But it is the strongest herbal formulation you can use when there's a cold, virus, or flu to comfort yourself. You want to know about CVF Be Gone and garlic and those kinds of things. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the mushrooms: shiitake, maitake, reishi, chaga, turkey tail, lion's mane. All these mushrooms. These are loaded with ergothioneine, and which is a powerful antioxidant, and immune boosters. So when you're wanting to boost the immune system, which we talked about earlier, you want to know about these mushrooms. So I combined these mushrooms all together in one group, and I called it mushroom times 4 extract. And it's a wonderful formulation, number 1315. I don't get anything from the sale of any product. I did invent those products, but I don't get anything. I'm not selling products because I get nothing from it. But anyway, that's the mushroom formula, and that's another huge immune system booster. So these are the kinds of things that we needed to talk about here, and I wanted to make sure and talk about colloidal silver water. And
Greetings, Dr. Truman.
And greetings, Sister Barbara.
Hi. I just wanted you to a testimony about that colloidal silver water generator. I have clients. I had emergency clients to see. I came home a couple days later. She did not know that she had that bad flu. I started getting sick. I jumped on the colloidal silver water generator and also given her some of it, and it cleared it up. My body was tore up from the floor. I had my bones was aching and everything. I lived by that colloidal silver water generator. It works.
Thank you, Barbara.
I just want to share that testimony because that virus is in your system and people don't know that they have it and they're not wearing their mask.
Yeah. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you very much for that testimony. And folks, I get these kinds of testimonies all the time about this colloidal silver water generator because it really does work. And it never breaks. And if it did, you send it back to the manufacturer and they fix it and send it back to you, or they give you a new one. So it's really something that everyone should have. They should have a colloidal silver water generator, and they should know about how to use colloidal silver water. That being said, there's the heavy metal detox formulas listed in this report. And let's get back out of here now. And the other thing that comes up all the time that needs to come up is what do you do when you're doing everything you can to be healthy, and you just, because you don't want to be a victim. You don't want to be a victim to any kind of a virus or a flu or any other kind of health disorder. So you do your best to remain healthy, and that starts with a Make Lifestyle Changes diet system. That is, besides the colloidal silver water generator, which is also listed in there, the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system is where you start. That's where you start, because it It tells you how much water you need to be drinking. It tells you what kind of water. It makes sure that you know that you want to drink water that has minerals in it, like pure spring water. And you want to make sure and start your day with a glass of that spring water. And if you want, if you want to detoxify the body and detoxify the kidneys, well, put a slice of lemon in there, organic lemon, and make sure to squeeze it. And because that lemon, that organic lemon, that is going to drive it alkaline, and your body needs to be a little more alkaline than it is acid. It should never be acid, and if it goes acid, then that's when you find people that have cancers. They have too much acid. Their pH balance is acidic. We've got a open mic over there in Georgia. Did you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion in Georgia? No? Okay. I'll mute your mic. But please unmute your mic if you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion. So this Make Lifestyle Changes report that I'm looking at on the website, herbalhealthreview.com. And when you're on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, be sure and become a member because it's a membership, and that helps everybody, because I have no sponsors. If I don't get these donations, I can't keep up the work on the website. And there's all these reports that have to be continually updated because scientific research is always on the march. And I'm always looking for cutting edge things that will help people to stay healthy. So I assembled a Make Lifestyle Changes diet system, which is totally complete and ends with an acid alkaline balance food chart system. So it starts with how much water to drink. Then it tells you that you should be taking B12 and folic acid. And Frank, go ahead.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Dr. Truman?
I'm blessed. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Could you break down the daily pregnancy tonic tea?
The daily pregnancy tonic tea. We're going to get out of that report and go over here and talk about the daily pregnancy tonic tea. So I'm on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, and I'm going down to A, B, C, D until I get to P for pregnancy. I'm on my way. And there it is. So I'm clicking on the pregnancy during and after birth. Now, this is an incredible report that helps a lot of ladies that are going through pregnancy, and they have easy deliveries and less pain, and they're healthy and they feel better. And it's a wonderful system here. And this report starts with, infertility. So if anybody is trying to get pregnant, here's some suggestions of herbs and natural remedies that are used and may be helpful for that. There's chase tree berry is one of the great herbs that balances hormones in men and women and contributes to pregnancy. There's motion and morning sickness formula. There's red raspberry leaves and nettles and so forth. But let's take a look at this daily pregnancy tonic tea. That during pregnancy and while you're preparing for birth, you're taking this tea. And so let's click on it and go over And whoop, let's click on it and open the link in a new window. So now we're now going to look at this pregnancy tonic tea, and going down to the ingredients, we see there's red raspberry leaf in that tea, as well as cat's claw, which is also called una de gato, and alfalfa leaf, peach leaf, wild yam root, ginger root, rose hips, false unicorn root, yellow dock root, slippery elm bark, bilberry leaf, and huckleberry, and dandelion root, burdock root, and ashwagandha root, which is also called winter cherry. All of this is in this tea, and you brew this tea up. You use 1 tablespoon of the tea for every 32 ounces of water, and you bring the water to a boil. You add the tea, you let it boil for about a minute, and you steep it for about 5 minutes, and you drink 1 or 2 cups of this tea per day, either warm or at room temperature. And you may add stevia or raw honey as a sweetener. You would not, it's not recommended, you would not use this particular tea, because if you're taking blood thinning agents, if you're taking blood thinners, then you're going to be careful about of using this tea so that you're not thinning the blood too much. And you would be careful if there are gallstones or obstructions in the bile ducts, then you're going to be very careful with this tea as well. You may not use it, and you should not use it if a woman does not wish to become pregnant, because drinking this tea will also predispose the person to the woman to get pregnant. This will help pregnancy. So that's what's in it. Now let's take a look at each of these herbs that we just talked about. And when we're talking about herbs, the individual herbs, like red raspberry. Red raspberry is an herb that we use the leaf of it, and it is an excellent source of calcium, magnesium, and iron, and it helps strengthen the uterus and is safe to use from preconception to post-birth. It can help with leg cramps and during pregnancy, and it can also help with morning sickness during early pregnancy. Red raspberry leaf. And nettles is high in calcium and iron content, and nettles are extremely nourishing to the reproductive and adrenal systems. They also contain folic acid, which is an important nutrient when trying to conceive, as it can help to prevent birth defects, and it aids in the implantation and cell division. That's what nettles, that one herb is incredible. And it's an herb that men and women should always be taking. It's anti-inflammatory as well. And oat straw. Oat straw is a mild nourishing tonic, and it's a mild aphrodisiac, and also a wonderful hormone balancer. Oat straw. You can use cut and sifted oat straw in teas, and also add oatmeal daily to your diet, because it's a mild nervine, and it's a nourishing tonic to the entire body, and an aphrodisiac and hormone balancer. Damiana has a reputation as a wonderful aphrodisiac. Damiana helps to promote fertility in men and women. It can help balance irregular menstrual cycles and helps nourish the reproductive system. It can be used in a tea or tincture, and you can mix it with equal parts of lemon balm in a tea ball for a delicious tea. You can add a little lemon balm. And maca root. Now, maca root is another incredible herb that everyone should know about, because it's a root that's native to Peru, and it is taken dried in capsule form. It's also used for both men and women, and it helps increase the sperm count, and it is great for boosting the libido. It's also useful for those suffering PCOS, that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it's also used when there is endometriosis. It can help regulate the reproductive hormones and improve the health of the female egg. Alfalfa, another great tonic herb. It helps nourish the reproductive organs in both men and women. It is a vitamin-rich herb, and it will keep you healthy. Alfalfa. Now, red clover is an all-purpose fertility booster. It is also a blood purifier. Red clover. This herb takes a while to build up in the system, though it is best to start taking it a few months before trying to conceive. Red clover is rich in vitamins and helps regulate the reproductive system. The herb is helpful for those with sporadic periods. It is a general fertility tonic, and it is best used in an infusion, which is a tea. A great recipe is to use red clover with a pinch of peppermint, and some people are big on tea balls. I'm not, but you can put it in a tea ball. The father to be will also benefit from drinking red clover tea as well. Do not take red clover if you are due to have surgery, or if you have a clotting disorder. You don't want to take red clover. False unicorn. This herb has been used in Native American healing for centuries to promote fertility. False unicorn helps the male. It helps with male impotence, as well as promoting a healthy menstrual cycle, and also for recurrent miscarriages. False unicorn. First thing you would do if there was a threatened miscarriage, then you would have the pregnant lady to lay down, put her feet up, make sure that you're giving her some false unicorn, and it may save her from having a miscarriage. That's how it's used. Saw palmetto is another herb that is a great fertility herb for men, and it helps nourish the reproductive system and promote fertility. It can also be used by women for regulating their cycle, and it is also used when there is prostate problems, especially using saw palmetto with nettles, which is anti-inflammatory when there's a prostate problem. And saw palmetto and nettles will also block DHT so that you keep your hair. Men are losing their hair because they don't know about saw palmetto and nettles in their diet so that they can keep their hair. They don't know about jojoba oil that is very nourishing, and it is a nourishment for the skin and the hair. Jojoba oil. But this a daily pregnancy tonic tea. Let's get back here We did not, we talked about red raspberry, we talked about alfalfa. We did not talk about cat's claw. Let's go over to herbalhealthreview.com and let's take a look at, let's take a look at cat's claw. herbalhealthreview.com. I'm on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, clicking on herbal descriptions. We want to look at a single herb. We want to look at cat's claw. So we click on single herbs and we go down in the side panel here to cat's claw. And when we are on our way, ABC, cat's claw. And there's cat's claw. So we're clicking on cat's claw. Oh, there we go. And opening it up. Cat's claw. The reason we're using cat's claw is because this Peruvian herb, Uncaria tomentosa unadagato, the therapeutic actions from this Peruvian herb are that it's anti-inflammatory, it's anti-ulcerous, it's anti-cancer, antidepressant, anti-leukemic, anti-mutagenic. It's a cellular protector. It's protecting the cells. It's an antioxidant, anti-tumor, antiviral, and it is a contraceptive and immune stimulant. It has no known drug interactions. The herb, cat's claw, is used for stomach ulcers, gastritis, rheumatoid arthritis, eczema, break bone fever, and liver diseases. Research has been conducted on cat's claw for over the past 2 decades. It has been referred to as the opener of the way by Dr. Brent W. Davis, DC, and due to its powerful cleansing effects on the intestinal tract. Internally, it has helped to heal numerous stomach and intestinal disorders, as well as asthma, arthritis, ulcers, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, leaky bowel syndrome, colitis, hemorrhoids, fistulas, parasites, and intestinal flora imbalance, and other conditions which might be treated with cat's claw include cancer, bursitis, genital herpes, herpes zoster, allergies, systemic candidiasis, PMS, irregularities of the menstrual cycle, HIV, environmental toxin poisoning, urinary tract, and prostate problems. Cat's claw also inhibits platelet aggregation and thrombosis. Thus, they might be beneficial in the prevention of stroke and heart attack. It has helped to lessen the side effects of radiation and chemotherapy. Also, cat's claw has been used for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. And the suggested use is approximately 1 to 2 milliliters 2 times a day. So a half dropper full, 1 to 2 to 3 times a day, half dropper full of cat's claw herbal tincture extract. That's it. That's it for cat's claw. Let's get back over here. We're looking at that. That's in the daily pregnancy tonic tea and peach leaf. Let's see what if we can bring up peach leaf here and give you the reason why it's in there. Peach leaf. Okay, let's see if I can get down herbal descriptions and coming over here to the single herbs and going over to see if we got that far. Don't know if we got that far. Peach leaf. About to find out. A lot of herbs here. Well, nope, he did not. So let's go take a look over here. Peach leaf. P-E-A-C-H. Peach leaf. Leaf. Benefits. Well, peach leaf is an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory, it's antimicrobial. It helps with constipation. It helps in lowering blood sugar, and it's aiding in weight loss. That's just some of the benefits of peach leaf. It's an herbal tea, and the peach tea, it doesn't contain any caffeine, and the species that we use is Prunus persica. The tea is made from peach leaves and is still it's an uncommon beverage and usually prepared for its potential health benefits. Peach fruit tea, on the other hand, is one of the most popular teas in the world. It can be prepared from fruits only or blended with other teas. The most popular blend is peach black tea because it's refreshing, sweet, and strong flavor. This tea is often served iced. So, you can consume about a cup of peach black tea will have slightly higher caffeine content than a cup of just plain peach green tea. And then there's peach rooibos tea, which will be caffeine free because it doesn't contain real tea. And there's many types of peach tea, and some may be better than others, but pre-made drinks may be contain a lot of unnecessary sugars and so forth. You want to be careful of that. But interestingly, it's an antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties, and that's why it's used in combination with these other herbs for its anti-property and anti-inflammatory properties. And so what and some people are putting it with black tea, but that's all right. Some aren't. But the main thing, it's an antioxidant. It's peach fruit, including the peel, especially fresh, may provide high antioxidant and free radical scavenging activity and anti-inflammatory activity. Both are important to boost immune system and help the body fight inflammations. Studies showed that the leaf from the peach tree has an antioxidant potential as well. And it has antimicrobial activity. Studies showed that the peach leaf possesses antimicrobial activity, e.g. CG, a catechin, abundant in green tea, possesses antimicrobial activity too. In black tea, antimicrobial activity comes from theoflavin. It helps with constipation. Traditionally, peach leaves tea has been used for its potential laxative effect. Studies confirmed that it may be helpful in treating constipation. Lowering blood sugar. Studies showed that peach leaf contains multiflorin, a chemical compound that may help lower blood sugar. Fruity peach tea blended with real or herbal teas, such as green and sometimes black teas. The herbal rooibos tea may also help lower blood sugar too, and help in treating type 2 diabetes. It's also aiding in weight loss. Both green and black peach tea may help with your weight goals because studies suggest that polyphenols in the tea may help reduce calorie intake and increase fat burn. So it's a part. It's a part of that formulation. So anyway, peach. That's the deal with the reason why peach tea is in the daily pregnancy tonic tea. Now there's also wild yam root. So let's take a look at wild yam root. And wild yam root. There we go. Wild yam root. Okay. Well, wild yam is used to create progesterone, often called a woman's herb, but men need it too, and is produced in the testes and adrenal glands. Progesterone helps keep testosterone balanced. The other herbs are potent prostate tonics that are helpful with inflammation. So that's one of the reasons why men should use it. It's good for the prostate. So let's go a little further. Let's go a little bit further here. Right. It's used for diverticulosis and stomach disorders as well. Wild yam during the fall and the winter months, the desire for yams increases steadily. They are deliciously rich in vitamins and flavor. So what's not to love? However, when we are talking about wild yam, it isn't what you think. For centuries, Native Americans and early Americans have used wild yam. Botanical name is Dioscorea villosa. And they've used wild yam for possible benefits ranging from estrogen therapy and natural progesterone to treating diverticulosis, gallbladder pain, rheumatoid arthritis, as well as offering increased energy. It has been used by women. Wild yam has been used by women to reduce hot flashes and treating colic in infants. It's a perennial vine. Wild yam is typically the long, slender, and knotted tuberous rootstock of the plant. The leaves are heart-shaped, growing anywhere from 2 to 6 inches long and nearly as wide. The lower leaves often grow in 2s and 4s. Whoops. And that back. Let's go back. And so the lower leaves often grow in 2s and 4s, and the plant contains small, greenish, yellow flowers that smell a lot like cinnamon. Many of the varieties develop edible tubers, which Well, they're much like potatoes. The parts used for the dried roots or rhizome, that's the parts that are used, the dried roots or the rhizome. And these roots of the wild yam contain diosgenin, a plant-based estrogen that can convert into the hormone known as progesterone. What's important to note is that our bodies do not convert the chemical into the estrogen hormone. That must be done in a laboratory. Regardless, this makes a phytoestrogen food. Phyto means plant. So it's a plant estrogen. And what these plant estrogens do, they're softer and easier for the body to use, whereas the normal estrogen produced is harsh and sometimes causes cancer. So the phytoestrogens are softer and they take place, so the harmful stronger estrogens can't overreact with the tissues. So it's calming things down, and you're getting plant estrogen from food. So and this is a therapy. This is an estrogen therapy for menopausal relief. And if you are looking for wild yam, you probably won't find it in the produce section, but rather in the supplement section as a dried root powder, capsule, or liquid. There's some other names for wild yam include aluka, A-L-U-K-A, or China root, or colic root. It's also called devil's bones, and it's called shan yao, and it's called yuma, and it's called rheumatism root, and it's called red velvet yam. So what we find is that it regulates blood sugar. It may fight cancer. It improves cholesterol levels. It offers diverticulosis relief. It may reduce photoaging. Studies indicate that diosgenin found in wild yam extract may have a depigmenting effect. This means it could help with issues such as melasma, melanodermatitis, and sun lentigo, and issues that ultimately result in hyperpigmentation, which is called photoaging. So it may reduce photoaging. This hyperpigmentation is harmless and rather common, but it can be frustrating since it is a skin condition that develops rather noticeably as darker patches of skin. What about menopause relief? It has been claimed that wild yam, it has been claimed by many as a great way to reduce menstrual symptoms and assist with hormone replacement during menopause. But does it really work? According to a recent study, maybe not so much. A study was conducted using a wild yam cream, similar to what you may think of as a progesterone cream, in 23 healthy women who were experiencing menopause. 3 months into the study, results showed that there were no significant changes, although there were no side effects either. The cream had little or no effect on menopausal symptoms overall. So anyway, your guide, the wild yam, it's an herb known as colic root. Native Americans used wild yam, and early settlers used it to treat a variety of conditions. And it's been used to reduce hot flashes and treating colic in infants. And also there are more than 600 species, and only 12 of them are edible. And the forms are dried root, liquid, tea, capsule, dried root powder. So that's it for that. How to use it? Well, it's important to consider a few factors regarding the correct dosage of wild yam. Age and health and health condition of the individual are important, especially if pregnant. It's always best to consult a physician, especially since there really isn't enough evidence about wild yams at this time. Follow the directions on labels and check with your healthcare provider first. Wild yam is usually found in a liquid extract, a dried herb, powder, capsule, or tablet. The liquid version can be made into a tea. You can also purchase creams containing wild yam, but unless it has been into a laboratory, it likely does not contain the chemical needed to affect hormones. Our bodies do not convert it naturally. So you can also add it to a tincture. Using wild yam therapeutically is not recommended for children. There simply isn't enough data to support its safety. We never harm a child, but we need more information about it. Wild yam is often combined with other herbs known to have estrogen-like effects, namely black cohosh. Wild creams, tablets, powders may contain synthetic hormones since they are produced in laboratories. Check the ingredients carefully and consult with your practitioner. As an antispasmodic, wild yam can help with coughs, spasms, and nausea. So, and there's various recipes here where you can use wild yam for coughs and spasms and nausea, combining 8 ounces of chopped fresh wild yam root, or 4 ounces of dried wild yam, and you would have 4 to 5 cups, 1 to 2 drops of peppermint essential oil, and you would sprinkle a little bit of stevia for taste if you wanted it a little bit sweet. And in a saucepan, you would cover the chopped fresh wild yam with water and bring it to a boil. You would reduce the heat and allow it to simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. You would strain it and add the peppermint and stevia. And you'd have half a cup twice a day and store it in the refrigerator. Wild yam versus other yams. Wild yam is mainly used as a supplement due to the diacetyl that it contains, which can be used to produce hormones, which it goes through when it goes through a chemical reaction. Wild yams grow best in flooded freshwater marshes and swamps, non-tidal shrub swamps, roadside ditches, and wetlands. throughout the eastern United States. AMA, jicama. You may have heard of and even eaten jicama, the Mexican yam that is a member of the Fabaceae family, which is a pea family. And it is a perennial that grows in areas that do the root is the only thing that you can consume. Whoa, okay. All right. And yams are native to Africa and Asia and closely related to lilies and grasses. Yams come in different sizes, but are usually similar to the size of a small potato. They contain more starch and are drier than sweet potatoes. A sweet potato is one you probably know most, since it is the yam you see at Christmas and Christmas dinner, a sweet potato, technically known as Ipomoea batatas. The sweet potato yam is not related to the Mexican yam or wild yam, but you have seen it in the produce department. Sweet potatoes range in skin color from white to yellow, red, purple, brown, and the flesh in color from white to yellow, orange, and orangish red. These varieties are usually classified in either form or soft and maintaining a soft or firm consistency, respectively, when cooked. The soft varieties are typically labeled as yams here in the U.S. Risks and side effects. Let's stress it again, that there's insufficient studies on wild yam. Therefore, you need to consult with a doctor or herbalist first, especially if you are pregnant, nursing, suffer from any disease, or taking medication. The University of Maryland Medical Center warns that wild yam extract could cause problems if you are currently taking estradiol, which is an active ingredient that may be in your birth control pill or hormone replacement therapy. Allergic reactions are possible, so it's best to stop taking wild yam extract if you are experiencing rashes, swelling of the tongue or lips, difficulty breathing, or throat swelling. Then you don't want to take any yams. Wild yams. Well, final thoughts about it. Wild yam, Dioscorea villosa, has been purported uses and benefits, but insufficient scientific data exists for some of them, such as menopause relief and hormonal balance. However, the top 5 proven benefits of wild yam include its ability to regulate blood sugar levels, improve cholesterol, and reduce photoaging, melanin problems. Wild yam is usually found as a liquid extract, dried herb powder, capsule, and tablet. You can also use the liquid to make a tea, and creams, and creams are available. But remember that unless it has been to a laboratory, it's likely not to contain the chemical needed to affect hormones because our bodies do not convert it naturally. That's it for wild yam. We're talking about a daily pregnancy tonic tea. And we talked about peach leaf and wild yam. Well, you know ginger root. Let's get back to ginger root in single herbs. And let's talk a little bit about ginger, because that's one of the greatest herbs ever. And it's not right here, but let's go where it is. Okay, let's go right here. Ginger root. And it's okay. Let's take a look. When we're talking about ginger, well, it seems to aid digestion and saliva flow. And studies found that taking ginger could ease nausea and vomiting in some pregnant women. But pregnant women should be careful with ginger. Some experts worry that it could raise the risk of miscarriage, although that's not been ever reported. Okay, so let's go a little bit more here. A little bit more. I'm looking for. All right, let's look. I'm looking for something that's very recent. This should do it right here. 11 health benefits of ginger. Ginger is made from a flowering plant originating in Southeast Asia. Including ginger in your diet can have numerous physical and physiological health benefits. Ginger is among the healthiest and most delicious spices on the planet. I'll say it again. Ginger is among the healthiest and most delicious spices on the planet. It belongs to the Zingiberaceae family and is closely related to turmeric, cardamom, and galangal. It's often called the rhizome, underground part of the stem, is the part commonly used as a spice. It is often called ginger root or simply ginger. Ginger can be used fresh, dried, powdered, or as an oil or juice. It's very common ingredient. It's a very common ingredient in recipes. It's sometimes added to processed foods and cosmetics. And let's talk about what it'll do. Ginger contains gingerol, which has powerful medicinal properties. Ginger has a very long history of use in various forms of traditional and alternative medicine. It's been used to aid digestion, reduce nausea, and help fight the flu and common cold, to name just a few of its purposes. The unique fragrance and flavor of ginger, it comes from its natural oils. And then the most important of which is gingerol. Gingerol is the main bioactive component in ginger. It's responsible for much of ginger's medicinal properties. Gingerol has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidative effects. And according to research, for instance, it may help reduce oxidative stress, which is the result of having an excessive amount of free radicals in the body. Ginger can treat many forms of nausea, especially morning sickness. Ginger appears to be a highly effective agent against nausea. It may help relieve nausea and vomiting for people undergoing certain types of surgery. Ginger may also help chemotherapy-related nausea, but larger human studies are needed. However, it may be the most effective when it comes to pregnancy-related nausea, such as morning sickness. According to a review of 12 studies that included a total of 1,278 pregnant women, 1.1 to 1.5 grams of ginger can significantly reduce symptoms of nausea. However, this review concluded that ginger had no effect on vomiting episodes. Although ginger is considered safe, you want to talk with your herbalist before taking large amounts of ginger if you're pregnant. It's recommended that pregnant women who are close to labor or who had miscarriages avoid ginger. Ginger is contraindicated with a history of vaginal bleeding and clotting disorders as well. You would not use ginger. It may help with weight loss. Ginger may play a role in weight loss, according to the studies conducted in humans and animals. A 2019 literature review concluded that ginger supplementation significantly reduced body weight and waist-hip ratio, and the hip ratio in people with overweight or obesity. And a 2016 study of 80 women with obesity found that ginger could also help reduce body mass index, the BMI, and blood insulin levels. High blood insulin levels are associated with obesity. Study participants received relatively high doses, 2 grams of ginger powder for 12 weeks. A 2019 literature review of functional foods also concluded that ginger had very positive effect on obesity and weight loss. However, additional studies are needed. The evidence in favor of ginger's role in helping prevent obesity is stronger in animal studies. Rats and mice who consume ginger, water, or ginger extract consistently saw decreases in their body weight, even in instances where they also had been fed high-fat diets. Ginger's ability to influence weight loss may be related to certain mechanisms, such as its potential to help increase the number of calories burned or reduce inflammation. Ginger. Ginger can help with osteoarthritis. It involves degeneration of the joints. It's a common problem, and not only involves a degeneration of the joints in the body, but it's leading to symptoms such as joint pain and stiffness. One literature interview found that people who use ginger to treat their osteoarthritis saw significant reductions in pain and disability. Only mild side effects, such as a dissatisfaction with the taste of ginger, were observed. However, the taste of ginger, along with stomach upset, still prompted nearly 22% of the study participants to drop out. They dropped out because it gave them stomach upset. 22%. Okay. Study participants who received between 500 milligrams, they were taking too much. 500 milligrams, a lesser amount. So study participants received between 500 milligrams and 1 gram of ginger each day for anywhere from up to 3 to 12 weeks. A majority of them had been diagnosed with osteoarthritis of the knee. And another study found that a combination of topical ginger, mastic cinnamon, and sesame oil can reduce pain and stiffness in people with osteoarthritis of the knee. And ginger may drastically lower blood sugars and improve heart disease risk factors. This area of research is relatively new, but ginger may have powerful anti-diabetic properties. In a 2015 study of 41 participants with type 2 diabetes, 2 grams of ginger powder per day lowered fasting blood sugar by 12%. It has also dramatically improved hemoglobin, A1C, HbA1c, a marker for long-term blood sugar levels. The HbA1c was reduced by 10% over a period of 12 weeks. There was also a 28% reduction in the apolipoprotein, a B apolipoprotein A-1 ratio, and a 23% reduction in malondialdehyde, MDA, that's malondialdehyde, hard to say that, MDA, which is a byproduct of oxidative stress. A high ApoB/ApoA-1 ratio and a high MD levels are both major risk factors of heart disease, and it was reducing those by 28%. However, keep in mind that this was just one small study. The results are incredibly impressive, but they need to be confirmed in larger studies before any recommendations can be made. In somewhat encouraging news, a 2019 literature review also concluded that ginger significantly reduced HbA1c in people with type 2 diabetes. However, it also found that ginger had no effect on fasting blood sugar. That's it for ginger. So let's get back, and we're almost done detailing the information on the herbs. When you're looking at rose hips, well, it's loaded with vitamin C. And so that's why rose hips is in there. And then there's false unicorn, which we already talked about. Yellow dock, which we did not talk about. Yellow dock. Let's talk about yellow dock because yellow dock is a very interesting herb that is 40% natural iron. And that iron is available in a plant form. It's not like you're chewing on a railroad track. You can't get iron from a railroad track, but you can get iron from yellow dock. Yellow dock. Okay, let's go take a look at. Okay, yellow dock benefits. Yellow dock. Well, let's go back one more time. That's not what I want. Yellow dock. Da, da, da. Hold on. We can do this. Yellow dock. Well, traditional herbalism now is getting popular since many researchers have revealed many benefits of natural herbs. Many researchers tried their best to discover new innovation on medical progress. These days, people mostly realize that nature contributes many kinds of wellness for a human's life. One of the great health contributions comes from yellow docks. Yellow docks, also known as Rumex crispus. Rumex crispus. It's mostly known in its root, which contains many health benefits. It's also categorized as a health tonic. This beneficial herb can be mostly found in North America, and it has been known as an herbal formula in herbal formulas to heal some diseases. Since long time ago, the ancients used yellow dock roots, leaves as the tea. Root and leaves are used as a tea. The benefits of yellow dock have been known nowadays as the treatment for medicine. And for example, yellow dock has a super benefit for healing and reducing stomach acid, heartburn, and also eases digestion. Even yellow dock, mostly known as the unwelcome weed, but currently researchers have revealed that yellow dock is rich in health benefits. And here's a few. It will treat anemia. Health benefits of yellow dock for anemia is super potent. Anemia is the condition in which the blood causes tiredness and also weakness in an extreme level. Some studies have proved that yellow dock root can heal the anemia, and it is known as the herb which can cleanse the blood and also strengthening the body. For those who want to try to heal anemia, they can take the root of yellow dock and simmer it and for making a tea. Yellow dock is used for skin disorders. For those with problems or skin disorders that take this herb, the problems such as acne, psoriasis, age spots, rashes, eczema can be healed by yellow dock's root. The benefit of the yellow dock for acne is very effective. The process of acne treating by yellow dock by soaking the cotton balls in it, and it can be applied to the face or wherever the acne rises. Besides, yellow dock treatment can make a good aroma, a good odor while it is applied on the face. It is also used as a daily cleaner for the face. Antioxidants. There are many effective herbs which contain antioxidants. One of them is yellow dock. The study revealed that yellow dock can be antioxidant, which also can reduce free radical activities. Its root proved that yellow dock can reduce the oxidative stress. It also shows that yellow dock can prevent some cancers, since oxidative stress can be involved in the development of cancer. It has blood cleansing or detoxification effects. While the disease yellow dock, while treating the diseases, yellow dock is also used as the blood cleansing or detoxification. Yellow Dock can help the detoxification process with many functions. It is effectively known as a blood cleanser and lymphatic cleanser. The root Yellow Dock is able to remove the lingering waste on the in the intestinal tract, and also stimulate the frequency or urination, in which can help elimination of toxins. It will also treat liver disorders. It is good news for people who are suffering from liver disease that Yellow Dock can help with this problem. Yellow Dock root and leaves can be an alternative medicine for liver disease. There were some studies revealed that proved this case, that Yellow Dock can help patients with liver disorders. Even it will not cure totally, but it can be an alternative to help and treat the liver. It helps with digestive problems. It helps treat rheumatism and arthritis. It helps treat menstrual pain, and it treats throat disorders. Yellow Dock is used to treat fevers. It's anti-diabetic, and it treats diarrhea. And an effective dose is like half a dropper full 3 times a day. That's Yellow Dock. For pregnant women, it's better not to consume or drink Yellow Dock tea while pregnant, because it will rise the effect of an unborn child. In other words, it can. You don't want to take lots of Yellow Dock. If it's in a combination with other herbs and softened and it's used in a small amount, it is extremely beneficial, but you just don't want to overconsume it when you're pregnant. Okay? It will cause an abortion. That's it for the daily pregnancy tonic tea. There's other herbs in there that we could talk about, but we've come to the top of the hour. We need to get back over here and to have a closing prayer. And Paul, are you with us? Paul, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. We're coming close to the top of the hour. Do you agree with me? We have come to the top?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We came to exactly the top.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, let's put on that whole body armor of God again. And in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, we are praising and worshiping and thanking the Most High God. And then we're going to open up all the microphones in every direction, and we can all praise the Most High together. But let's go start with this prayer. We're putting on the whole body armor of God in the name of Jesus Christ. We are reading scripture from the Bible, Ephesians 6:11-18. Let us put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about you with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name, all praises to the Most High God. We praise, worship, and thank you, and we receive your complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing. All praises to the Most High God. In Jesus Christ's name, we receive your complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing. So be it. We receive it. Let us open up the microphones and all praise the Most High together. All praises to the Most High God. All praises to the Most High God. Praise, worship, and thank you.
All praises to the Most High.
Doc, please check your Skype for a message I sent you. If we could hook up after the show, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. All praises to the Most High. Please join us again next week. Bye for now, brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High God.
This has been another episode of Herbal Health Review. Discussions in health, discoveries in health discussions. This is Global Voice Network. Please support the program by supporting herbalhealthreview.com and visiting the links in the description of this program for how you can continue to support herbalhealthreview.com and Discoveries in Health Discussions. I'm Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you right back here next time. Bye now.
This program is presented for information purposes only. The statements made herein have not been evaluated by any agency and should not be considered professional, legal, or medical advice. Viewers are directed to consult their own professional sources before acting on any information presented here.